Dear students, welcome to Tungal online classes. Today we'll discuss the next inflorescence. So that is nothing but racemose inflorescence. It is divided into four types based on the peduncle itself. Peduncle sometimes elongated, peduncle sometimes shortened, peduncle sometimes ending in a flower, and peduncle sometimes become flattened itself, right? So like this, there are four types of peduncles that we come across in racemose inflorescence. Among them, first one is peduncle is elongated is over, and second one is peduncle is shortened is over, and third one is peduncle ending in a flower, right? So let us start now itself. Peduncle ending in a flower, right, or ending in flowers. Okay, so like this. So first one is umbel. What is this umbel? So you may ask. So this is also one kind of racemose inflorescence ending in a flower. Peduncle with peduncle ending in a flower. See here. So here is one peduncle. This is one peduncle, right? At the tip of this peduncle, there you come across a cluster of flowers. There you come across a cluster of flowers over here, and all these flowers have equal sized pedicel. Pedicel is equal sized, right? Such kind of inflorescence ending in a flower, peduncle ending in a flower is called as what? Umbel. Is called as umbel. So one important thing is, at the tip of this peduncle, there we come across bracts. Each flower has bract, right? Flower has bract, and all those bracts together form a group of bracts called as involucre of bracts. What it is known as? Involucre of bracts it is called as. So such kind of inflorescence is called as umbel, right? What is the condition? Here is a peduncle. So that peduncle at the tip of which produces many flowers, right? And flowers has equal sized, right, with equal length having pedicels, right? So that kind of pedicel having flowers are born at the tip of the peduncle, and at the tip of the peduncle at the base of the pedicel. So there we come across the bracts, and those bracts which form a group of bracts, and that group of bracts called as involucre of bracts, and this is the inflorescence which is called as umbel. And the next one is, second one, compound umbel. Next one is compound umbel. So what is the difference between a single umbel as well as compound umbel? So the best example for this one is, I forgot to tell the example. So here best example for this one is Allium cephas. Allium cephas itself is nothing but onion, is the best example for this one. And so example for compound umbel is Coriandrum sativum, is the scientific name of coriander, right? Coriander, you know it better, right? So Coriandrum sativum is the best example for this one. See here, this is the peduncle ending with the flower, of course. So this peduncle ends with a cluster of bracts first. Cluster of bracts it bears at its tip. And this peduncle makes many branches over here. So like this. Peduncle is branched, right? These are not pedicels, these are peduncle. Peduncle is branched, and each branch at its tip bears cluster of what? Bracts of, right? Bracts are borne at its tip. See here. And so at the tip of which bears a cluster of flowers. See here. These are cluster of flowers borne on its tip. What I am drawing here are pedicels on which they bear flowers over here. So this kind of umbel itself is called as what? Compound umbel. What it is known as? Compound umbel. So once again I repeat over here. So peduncle is there, at the tip of which it produces a group of bracts called as what? Involucre of bracts. Involucre of bracts it is called as. And so once again it makes many branches over here. Many branches of the peduncle are there, right? All these are nothing but peduncles. They are branched at the tip. Once again they make involucre of bract. So here also this is called as involucre of bract. And so above that involucre of bract it produces the pedicel, I mean a cluster of flowers over here. And this kind of umbel itself is called as what? Compound umbel, right? So this is about the compound umbel. These are the two best type of racemose inflorescence, so that with peduncle ending in flowers. Next one is peduncle is flattened, right? Peduncle is flattened, right? So there is a flat peduncle. Peduncle becomes flattened on which bears a cluster of flowers, right? So best example for this one is Asteraceae family members. Asteraceae family members, they are sunflower, right? Tridacts are the best example for this one, right? So the best example for this one is sunflower as well as tridacts, right? Sunflower as well as tridacts are the best example for this one. In sunflower what happens? Peduncle is almost flattened itself, right? So like this it is flattened, on which it bears cluster of flowers. So there we come across this kind of flowers sometimes, and along with this one, so sometimes you can observe there yourself little bit larger size diagram I am drawing here. Two types of flowers that we come across over here. So one type of flower is, these are called as ray florets. Ray florets are yellow in color. Ray florets are yellow in color, and these flowers, each one is called as disc floret. What it is known as? Disc florets. So here these are sterile in nature. These are sterile. and these are fertile in nature. These are disc florets are fertile in nature and ray florets are sterile in nature. They do not participate in reproduction. Why? Because the reproductive organs are absent in these kind of florets, that is ray florets itself. They are yellow in color. So you can imagine yourself the sunflower. At the end you will find very beautiful ray florets which are yellow in color, right? So and at the center there the cluster of flowers are there. So they are not so beautiful, but still they are fertile in nature, means they have male as well as female sex organs with themselves, and they are called as disc florets. See here, so what is this structure called as? This structure is a flattened peduncle. This is peduncle. Okay. On this peduncle at the base of each flower, so there you come across this kind of many number of what? So greenish colored, green colored, what do you come across? Bracts. And what are these bracts known as? So cluster of bracts will be there at the base and they are forming involucre of bracts. So what they form? Involucre of bracts they form. Involucre of bracts at the base, right? At the top of this peduncle, disc florets are there, and at the edge, so ray florets are there. So this kind of flower, so which is sunflower, which comes under Asteraceae family. Family is Asteraceae. CEAE itself is suffix for that one. So Asteraceae family members these are. In these one, so how the peduncle is? Peduncle is flattened, and that kind of peduncle, so which is flattened, this kind of inflorescence itself is called as what? So that is called as head inflorescence. It is called as head inflorescence, or it is called as capitulum. Head or capitulum. So inflorescence it is called as head inflorescence. Okay. In head inflorescence you will find two types of inflorescences. So first one is homogamous head and heterogamous head. So there are two types of heads that you come across, head inflorescence that you come across. One is homogamous head, another one is heterogamous head. Remember here, so homogamous head itself is one type of head inflorescence in which only one type of flower is born. That is either ray florets or disc florets. So any one type of flowers are born on the head inflorescence. So that kind of head inflorescence itself is called as homogamous head. Only one type of flowers it bore. So it bears only one type of flowers. And hetero means different. Different in the sense that there are two types of flowers are born over here. Then sunflower itself is the best example for heterogamous head, right? So like this there are different types of head inflorescence that we come across over here. And one more exceptional thing is there, and it is very interesting one. What it is in acacia? In acacia as well as a touch me not plant, that is Mimosa pudica, right? So example what we have taken here is Mimosa pudica. So which is touch me not plant. So touch me not plant it is, and that plant has special type of head inflorescence over here. So what happens over here? Here the inflorescence itself becomes globe like, spherical shaped one, which bears on it cluster of flowers which are sessile in nature, right? These are flowers, and this is peduncle. This is peduncle, and this peduncle becomes spherical at the end. It becomes what? Spherical at the end, or so globose like structure. It makes globe like structure. Hence the inflorescence is called as globose head. What it is known as? Globose head inflorescence. Globose head inflorescence, right? So what I said, in Mimosa pudica as well as in acacia. One more example is acacia. One more example, right? So in acacia, in Mimosa pudica touch me not plant, so there what happens? The peduncle becomes spherical or globe shaped, right, which bears sessile flowers over it, and that kind of inflorescence itself is called as what? Globose head inflorescence. What it is known as? Globose head inflorescence. Compound head is also there. So let it be. So these are the peduncle is flattened. These are the inflorescence which come under peduncle is flattened, right? So this is all about the racemose inflorescence till now what we have studied, right? So let us start with another type of inflorescence, very important one. So which is cymose type. Cymose inflorescence. In this type of inflorescence, usually peduncle always ending in flower, right? See here, in this type, varieties of different types of cymose inflorescences that we come across. So where the peduncle's growth is determinate, means definite itself, right? So as in a racemose inflorescence, there is no definite growth for peduncle. So here definite growth for peduncle. So one type of cymose inflorescence is, first one is solitary cyme. Solitary cyme. It is very simplest. It is very simplest form of cymose inflorescence. Cymose inflorescence. So the best example for this one is hibiscus. Hibiscus. Solitary. Solitary means what? Single. Solitary means what? Single. Single means what? On the peduncle only one flower is born at its tip. See here, so this is the peduncle, this is the peduncle, and on this peduncle there you come across what? The pedicel. This is the stalk of the flower. So on this pedicel you will find what? The flower itself, right? You will find the flower like this. Okay, so this is at the end, there you come across the flowers. Okay, So at the end you will find the flower. So here is a joint. What is this one? Peduncle. And what is this one? Pedicel. In between these two there is a joint, there is a cut end that you come across here, right? So like this, so only one flower is born at the tip of the peduncle, and such kind of cymose inflorescence is called as solitary cyme. Only one flower is born at the tip of the peduncle, right? So this is solitary cyme. And the second one is simple cyme. Simple cyme. So in simple cyme, there you come across a cluster of 3 flowers. Jasmine itself is best example for this one. Example for this one is jasmine, right? So it is a cluster of 3 flowers. It is a cluster of 3 flowers. Here 3 flowers are there. See here, this is the peduncle. This is the peduncle, and on that pedicel is formed, and at the tip of the pedicel, right, flower is born. And so it bears 2 bracteoles over here, 2 bracteoles here. At the axil of each bracteole, there the pedicel is formed and a pair of flowers are formed like this. So what is this one? This is said to be as simple cyme. Simple cyme. So at the axil of each bracteole, 2 flowers are born there, and these flowers are younger, and this is older flower. Peduncle ends in a flower, and it produces a pair of bracteoles, at the axil of which bears 2 flowers. Total it is cluster of 3 flowers, and cluster of 3 flowers itself is said to be a simple cyme. What it is? Simple cymose inflorescence. And so next one is monochasial cyme. In this type of cymose inflorescence, here the peduncle makes the lateral branch over here, which ends in a flower, right? So at the tip of the peduncle bears 1 bract, at the axilla which the lateral branch arises and ends in a flower. Once again, 1 more bract is born on the primary one, and once again it also ends in flower. So like this, many number of succeeding branches are made on only one lateral side of the peduncle. Then that kind of so cymose inflorescence itself is monochasial cyme. So there are different types of monochasial cymes that we come across. So first one is monochasial helicoid cyme. Monochasial helicoid cyme. So this is one type of cymose inflorescence. See here, this is the peduncle, and at the edge of which bears a bract over here, and it produces a lateral branch which ends in a flower, and again it produces a bract over here, a lateral branch which also ending in a flower, and it also produces a bract and once again lateral branch ending in flower, which also produces a bract and ending in flower. See here, so the lateral branches are borne on one side, right? So which forms the helical structure, and this helical structured cymose inflorescence itself is called as what? Helicoid cymose inflorescence. Helicoid cymose inflorescence. In the same way, second type is there, monochasial scorpioid cyme. Monochasial scorpioid cyme. See here, this is the peduncle. This is the peduncle which bears a bract on one lateral side, and it bears a branch and produces one flower at the end, and it bears the bract on opposite side, at the axil of which bears one more branch, and that branch also ending in flower, and this branch also produces a bract on the opposite side and produces once again the branch ending in flower, and this branch also produces a bract and ending in flower, and on the opposite side once again bract is produced and once again the branch is produced and ending in flower. How it looks? Zigzag. So this kind of monochasial cyme itself is called as scorpioid cyme. Monochasial scorpioid cyme it is called as. So these are the two major types of monochasial cymose inflorescence, right? Next one is dichasial one. Dichasial. Cyme. In a dichasial cyme, what actually happens over here? Here also a peduncle is there which ends in a flower, right? And this peduncle makes two branches at the axil, and each branch ends in flower. Once again this peduncle makes the branches, right, and ends in respective flower. See here, this is the condition which is called as a dichasial cymose inflorescence. What it is called as? Dichasial cymose inflorescence, right? So this is one type of inflorescence in which the peduncle ends in a flower. So this flower is oldest one, and so this peduncle makes the branch at the base of the first flower and which also ending in the flowers respectively, and once again the secondary branches also bears the tertiary branches and which ends in flowers, right? And such kind of cymose inflorescence is called as dichasial cyme. In the same way, so next one is polychasial cymose inflorescence. Last one is polychasial cymose inflorescence. In this type of inflorescence, a peduncle always ends in a large old flower, and the peduncle makes the branches to produce two flowers. Once again, secondary as well as tertiary branches are produced over here which ends in flowers respectively, right? So this way there we come across many branches in this polycasial type of inflorescence, right? See here, once again I will explain the same thing. So this is the main branch of the peduncle. It is the main peduncle itself which ends in a flower. This is the oldest flower, and once again it makes the branches and ends in flowers, and once again, so these are secondary, tertiary branches are formed over here. Two or more number of secondary as well as tertiary branches are made over here, and which ending respectively with flowers, and the same condition itself is called as what? Polycasial cymose inflorescence. So this is all about the different varieties of inflorescences. So one inflorescence that we studied is the racemose type, and second one is cymose type, and third one we are going to study now special type of inflorescences. Among them, first one is cyathium. Cyathium is one special type of inflorescence that we come across here. So in this cyathium, here involucre of bracts, involucre itself becomes a cup shaped structure. The entire structure is involucre of bract. So involucre has become a cup shaped structure. This has become a cup shaped structure, and this involucre consisting of two types of flowers. One is male flowers and the other one is female flowers. And all the flowers are highly reduced over here, and the male flowers themselves are reduced and they are kept inside. So this receptacle or receptacle it is called as, right, and they are reduced into only the stamens, and these are bilobed stamens. Here these are said to be as the lobes of the stamen. So they are bilobed structures, right? See here, this is one lobe, second lobe, and this is the stamen entire structure, right? So this is nothing but it is a filament, it is called as, and this one is called as lobes, that is anther lobe, anther lobe it is called as, right? So bilobed structure it makes, this becomes the male flower, what we call that. So there are no calyx, corolla, androecium. So that is only androecium part is there, calyx, corolla are not there. So and these are kept inside this receptacle, so at the top itself. And one more female flower is there, so that is reduced into pistil. So what is this flower called as? It is only the pistil, right? So this is the ovary part, what we call it as, and this ovary part, that is pistil, has a stalk, elongated stalk, and that protrude outside this receptacle, and this flower, so which is said to be as a female flower. What we call it as is female flower. Okay, so this flower is indicated by the pistil itself. Alright, so it has a long stalk. Alright, so and this flower is lying at the center of all these male flowers itself. So this is one more type of inflorescence, that is special type of inflorescence. And the next one is Hypanthodium. The best example for that one is ficus. Ficus, so that is, you might have seen that a cluster of flower which is borne, so inside one thalamus itself. Thalamus becomes here, what kind of shape? It becomes flask shape. It becomes a flask shape, and inside that, so flask shaped thalamus, there born a plenty number of flowers, right? So and let us see that one. So this is Hypanthodium. Ficus is best example for this one, ficus. So example for this one is Euphorbia, right? So here ficus, in ficus, so there you will come across a flask shaped structure. So this flask-shaped structure is made by the thalamus. What is thalamus? You know, right? It is the base of the flower that makes so this kind of flask-shaped structure, which has a terminal opening, and that terminal opening is guarded by the scales here. There are many number of scales that guard the opening, right? So inside the inner wall of this thalamus or this flask-shaped structure, so there at the top the male flowers are present, at the base the female flowers are usually present over here. And this kind of inflorescence, that is cluster of flowers, are born inside the cup-shaped structure. So this is a special type of inflorescence which is seen in ficus, that is called as hypanthodium. So like this special type of inflorescences that we come across, one is cyathium, which is seen in euphorbia, right? So where male and female flowers are present inside a involucre, so which becomes a cup-shaped structure, and here flask-shaped structure which contains male as well as female flowers, that is cluster of flowers within it. So these are the two major types of special type of inflorescences. So till now we studied different types of inflorescences. So later we'll start with the flowers in the next video. Thank you.